Hi! I know many of you were waiting for the results of our last HEMI lifter test. It took a really long time, but this project was one of the hardest I've ever done. Many times we had to take everything apart, make changes, put it back together and test it again. So, did we finally make it work? See for yourself! Behind me you can see a 2015 Dodge Durango with 5.7 HEMI engine. That car had a small accident and it was waiting for body repair, but because of that we could use it as a test car for our new lifters. Under the hood, as I mentioned, we have a 5.7 HEMI engine with around 370,000 km on clock. That is already a lot, so from the beginning we knew that there will be a lot of work. First, we had to take everything apart. The intake manifold, valve covers, exhaust manifolds, cylinder heads and finally the lifters. What is interesting here, 2 out of the 16 original lifters already had a lot of play on the rollers. Luckily, they didn't damage the camshaft yet, so we could continue with the original camshaft. We obviously sent the cylinder heads for inspection and for surfacing. There were no problems with the sealing of the valves. Then, with a lot of trouble, we removed the MDS solenoids from the rusty block and replaced them with plastic plugs like this one here. Next, we installed our prototype lifters into the lifter bores, replaced the exhaust manifold gaskets, luckily the manifolds were not cracked, and installed new head gaskets and tightened the bolts to the correct torque. Then we installed the pushrods, valve covers, intake manifold and the engine was basically ready for start. After the first start, of course, we could hear ticking noise, but this is quite normal. The lifters need to fill with oil, so we did a bleeding procedure. Slightly higher RPMs for a short time and then we turned the engine off until it cools down completely. After starting the engine again, when it was already cold, it was almost quiet. And for a moment it looks really good. I was happy with the result, but as soon as the engine warmed up, the noise came back. And at that point, we already knew that the first test had failed. After taking the engine apart, we found that we had bent the pushrod. Little bit, but it was enough to make problems with misfire and ticking. This is said to be quite a common problem in these engines, but in our case it wasn't the main reason for the ticking. So, if the problem was only one pushrod, only one cylinder would tick. In our case, we could hear almost the whole engine ticking. So we started the next assembly, this time with new pushrods. We were very careful to make sure each pushrod was sitting exactly in the lifter cap. We used a special camera for that. We started the engine and again the same thing. When the engine was cold, it was quite quiet, but as soon as it warmed up, the HEMI Tick came back. At the same time, we noticed one more thing. The oil pressure was quite low. On the hot engine at idle, we had around 1.3 bar, if I remember well. So we made a decision. We will replace the oil pump with a new one. We installed a new original Mopar component, a normal standard pump, not a high volume version. We started the engine and nothing. The oil pressure didn't increase and the HEMI Tick didn't disappear. So the oil pump wasn't the solution here. At this point we had to go back to the design, and it was pretty clear now that our lifters had to be more sealed. So we did a lot of bench tests. We tested different solutions, and finally we created a lifter version that was more sealed than the original lifter. It sounds as a great idea, but it also has some risk. These lifters must be installed completely empty. Otherwise, if they were already filled with oil, there could be a risk of holding a valve open and damage to the engine. So, this is what we did. We installed our lifters completely empty. Again, new gaskets, new oil, new coolant. Honestly, we were already tired of it. First, we cranked the engine only with the starter, without starting it completely, just to build up the oil pressure in the oil gallery. Only when we saw that oil was reaching the rocker arms, we closed everything and started the engine in a normal way. And unfortunately, it was still ticking. There were moments when the engine got quieter at higher RPMs, but after releasing the throttle, the HEMI Tick was still there. But we noticed one more important thing. This time the whole engine was not ticking anymore. This time the noise was only on some cylinders, on some engine parts. So something had changed. It was still not good, but it was different. It was the weekend, so we left the car for a few days. On Monday, already quite tired and disappointed, I started the engine and… silence. Just silence. Smooth running, no misfire and no HEMI Tick. And that was the first moment when we really felt that we were very close. The engine was already running really well, so we basically had two issues left: MDS errors and low oil pressure. The MDS errors were solved quite quickly. We had to find a person who works with ECUs, and he correctly disabled the MDS in the ECU. But the oil pressure was still bothering me. We had around 1.3 bar on hot engine at idle. The oil pump was new, the engine was running well, but the pressure was still too low. At first we thought that maybe the engine was just badly worn. After all, it has 370,000 kilometers. But one day I had a thought to look more closely at the MDS oil channels. And this is where it started to get interesting. So the MDS system works like this. The oil from the main oil gallery goes to the MDS solenoid, here, at the inlet. After activation, the oil goes to this section, and from this section directly to the hydraulic lifter bodies. There are 4 of these solenoids in the engine, and each one controls oils for its own group of 4 lifters. At idle, MDS doesn't work, so the oil should be stopped here at the solenoid inlet. Now look what happens when someone installs popular MDS delayed plugs instead of the original solenoids. These plugs, which should replace the solenoids, are not only made quite poorly, but most importantly, they open full oil flow from the inlet to the oil channels, which goes to the lifter bodies. And the lifter bodies have quite a lot of clearance in the engine block. So in practice, we have a huge oil leak on all 16 lifters. How much difference does it make? To check this, we made our own MDS plugs. As you can see, they are shaped copies of the original solenoid. We just left one small hole here and here, which gives a limited amount of oil for roll lubrication. but it doesn't open the whole channel to the full flow. The result? The oil pressure increased from around 1.3 bar to 2.2 bar. For me, this was a really important moment because suddenly it turned out that the problem was not the pump. The problem was how oil was escaping through the MDS system after dilating it. As you saw, you don't have to buy only original lifters, install high-volume oil pumps or use special camshafts to get rid of the HEMI Tick. On the way, we also checked a few possible causes. So, we replaced the oil pump, and it did nothing. We improved the assembly, the problem still came back. Only after changes in the lifters themselves in the design, and after solving the MDS plug issue, the engine started to run as it should be from the beginning. In my opinion, many things you can find on the HEMI forums are just myths, repeated by people who never really tested them properly. In our case, every step was tested on a real engine with high mileage in real conditions. At this point, we have a solution that works fine. Now we still have durability tests ahead of us and then we can start sales, so see you in the next episode!